Hi everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to continue with my use of the 12 Daniel Smith watercolours that I've picked for autumn, but I'm going to be swatching them in such a way that I can test out some pencils over the top for mixed media. And the book that I'm going to be using, the sketchbook, is this one is actually a 9x12. I couldn't find that on Amazon, but I found I think it's a 10x7 on Amazon, so I will link that. It's the premium sketchbook. It's grey toned and it's 150 GSM and it's for mixed media with a medium grain surface, and it comes from their Nove series, Stillman and Birn's Nove series, and I've actually found it to be really quite lovely to work in. I started this in 2022, so you can just see some of the ways that I've been using it. I started to do a bit of a study with robins, so that was Inktense. That was just using some coloured pencils. These were Ecoline brush pens, then neocolor 2s, other coloured pencils, watercolour, Derwent drawing pencils. I started to plan out how I was going to do my story. I'm still not there yet. Then I made my robin into more of a character and used some pit oil based pencils. I was trying to work out kind of colours for moods for different seasons. You can see where I'm working out a possible colour palette and a possible storyline. So yeah, lots of different attempts really. There's our robin hiding in the tree. Just trying to work out what I could do. I decided I might want to add a blackbird in, so I practiced doing a blackbird, and then I decided perhaps those two would be the characters, my sad depressed blackbird and my cheerful robin. So I just came up with a few scenarios for my little characters really. And then I went and decided to do something completely different. And you can see I've just done some other preliminary sketches and things that I've tried out here in this sketchbook. So yes, lots of different things that I've done. This is my actual teddy bear who's called Potbelly Bear. I wondered whether he might make a good character for a book. So yes, that's kind of where I am with that. I'm going to make sure this is all in shot so that we can get the watercolours down and then see what coloured pencils we can get over the top. So first of all, we need to get our colours, watercolours, onto this paper, which by the way is actually, it's pretty thick, so it works really well. I might do the watercolours over here and then any notes and the pencils and the names over this side. So let's see how we go with this. I'm going to start by putting down some buff titanium, Daniel Smith's buff titanium, and I think I'll do them in quite big ovals so that I can try out various pencils on them. We've got some nickel azo yellow, We've got Aussie Red Gold. Wow, that really sings on this grey paper. I've actually got the smaller sketchbook and I might be using that as my autumn sketchbook, possibly, depending on how these colours come out on the grey paper. So we'll move on to some quinacridone sienna. Our really bright Pyrrole Orange. Oh wow, that's almost fluorescent on this paper compared to the white paper that I was using to swatch them out with on the previous video. There we go. Pyrrole Orange. Transparent Red Oxide. What's next? Oh, our Piemontite, which is our genuine colour. Need to water that one down a bit. Then we have got Sepia. Here we go, is our Sepia. That a bit darker there. Moving on to our blues with Lunar Blue. I obviously needed a bit more on my brush there. There we go. And then we've got Indigo. We have our Olive Green. Oh, and finally we have our Undersea Green. Okay, so that gives us all of our watercolours, and what I need to do next is to pause the video and dry those off so that we can get some coloured pencils over. So let's just have a look at all these 12 Daniel Smith colours with the coloured pencils over the top. I will show you the coloured pencils first of all. So there we go. moving across. And obviously these might look slightly different than they would on white paper, as this is grey toned paper. I think the surprising thing is that Chinese white, which comes out beautifully. And then I will bring these up to show you how those coloured pencils go over the top. Moving on down. And then lastly, so you can see that in the majority of them, apart from a few, have actually shown up quite well over the top of those 12 colours. And I think that those pencils plus those paints will give me quite a nice palette. The only other thing that I might add, I might just see if I do have more neocolor 2s, but this one is handy. So let's just see if some of these are going to look quite nice. So we can see, I picked the apricot because the apricot in the luminance worked quite well. Yeah. So I think that works really well. And what colour is this one? Russet. Let's see what happens with russet. I don't think it's going to work over these particularly well. How will it do over some of the blues? Yes, and the greens. Okay, so russet might be a nice addition. I've kind of run out of space to colour in here, so and I think that might be quite nice because it's going to go over the top of quite a lot of those dark colours. That one was Sahara yellow. Let's just grab my other set of colours. Oh, and let's just see what else might be. Just a few additions. Oh, I think that's going to be, that's too similar to the apricot. But that will be quite nice, which is olive. So we'll add olive in. And maybe we even want some red. What is this? This is vermilion, which is an orangey red. I can see that that's going to go with that palette quite nicely. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe let's get one more to add to this selection. Payne's grey. There we go. So I've got a selection of pencils, not this one. Cross through that. We've got 6 little neo colours. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got 18 coloured pencils, and we've got 12 watercolours. And I think that will make a really nice set for me to use for this autumn. So there we go. And yes, I will definitely be buying another one of these Stillman and Birn grey toned sketch pads because they work really nicely. Next time I'm going to be doing a painting where I've used some cling film to get a background and see what I can do with my autumn paints on that background. Okay, I will see you again next time.